Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the weekly Steelchair. How are we doing this evening? I hope you're all doing well. I'm certainly looking forward to this. We have an interesting show this evening to do. We've got a double review and it's going to be a very difficult one as well. There's a lot riding on this. And I'm not kidding. There's a lot riding on this review show because this is where things might get ugly. And not in the way that you might think. But hey ho, I mean, it's one of those days. I'm back. You're all back. We got a double review show. Tag team action, if you will. What's up, Zodiac? I'm glad that you're here at least. At least that's something. That's a positive. Even if you didn't catch any wrestling last night, at least you get a review. Because tonight's review is going to be a tricky one. Yeah. Her promo was relatively good, to be fair. I, for one, not gonna lie, I'm not sure how I'm gonna take it this evening. And it's quite simple, really. Tonight is an era-defining show. And it's one where so many questions have to be asked amongst a lot of things. There's a lot that must be discussed, but it is what it is. Put it that way. I'm gonna go on a great limb as well and say overall both shows were good. Both shows were good. But this week, after this week alone, I don't know when's the next time I'm going to say those words. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm very wrong. But we've got a lot on it. Now, I know I said I wouldn't be reviewing Collision anymore. Because if I'm not reviewing SmackDown, what's the point? This was on a double header. Therefore, I will exempt the rule. And if Collision ends up going on to Thursday nights, then... And I actually think Collision would be better on a Thursday night than a Saturday. You put Collision on a Thursday, then that makes it so much more interesting. And actually does the product better. But I'm still not doing SmackDowns. SmackDown can hop it. But last night was the show that TNA was coming for a long time. Yeah, so many people are busy on a Saturday. So many. It's pointless to do wrestling on a Saturday. This isn't the 80s anymore. Or early 90s when WCW was on a Saturday. It doesn't work anymore. Save the weekends for pay-per-views. Which is more sensible. We have a stacked show. We're not going to spin the wheel. We're not going to say, oh, what shall we start with? What are we not going to start with? How are we going to do it? I'm telling you straight. We're starting with Collision. We're starting with Collision. We're going to finish with TNA. And then we're going to have... I've already got the clock settled. I've already got the clock set up. We'll be doing a 15-minute Q&A at the end of the show. So 1 hour, 30 minutes, 1 hour 45 minutes for all of this. 90 minutes for actually, we'll do 90-minute reviews, and then we'll do 15 minutes of Q&A. So that'll take us up to 1 hour 45, and then after that we'll get out of here. Maria, hello, how are you? Hope you're doing well. There was a controversial spot yesterday on Collision that I'm going to discuss, but more in the sense of it's 2025, why bother? And if you saw what I mean, you'll grasp it. Hey James, how are you, buddy? It was awesome first night of wrestling. I completely agree. Last night was really, really good. Now, on the thumbnail, if you haven't seen it, I'm going to bring up, there's a very special inclusion on the thumbnail. If you can find it, call it out. FYI, I love the match graphic of Macklin versus Eric Young. One of the best matches of the year as well. It was incredible. And it also makes me sad at the same time. I don't blame you, buddy. It was a dog collar match, but on the thumbnail is a very special person. And they're on the bottom row. It is official, ladies and gentlemen. I can confirm this. Next week, it was confirmed last night. Brian fears Nigel. Yeah, that was perfect. But next week, Sky Blue returns to AEW. I want to say this. Thank God. Alright, Fletch. I'm absolutely buzzing for the return of Sky Blue because, let's be honest, this division's actually missed her. Not in a bad way. The division's good. But the division's actually missed her energy and enthusiasm. And I think it's very fitting that she gets to return in her home state. I'm really, really looking forward to it. I hope she doesn't come back. I hope she doesn't come back as Sky Blue. I hope she comes back as Sky Black, personally. But no matter what, I'm so excited to see her return next week. Is she going to cement herself in a title picture? Perhaps. But she is someone that you can build a division around. And she has the essence to do it. She's incredible. And absolutely, James is on my wavelength. Some of the energy and the drive. She adds more. And I'm going to say it as well. AEW will be even better from the women's side once Ty Conti returns properly. When she returns properly to AEW as well, that's another fantastic addition. Whenever she returns, Hikaru Shida. These are all important talents that they are needing on that roster. And it's vital. Especially, now, people may like her, people may dislike her, but the loss of Saraya is a loss. But the return of those three women negates it. Whenever the other two return, obviously Ty Conti's been in matches, but whenever she returns fully to AEW, big addition. Hikaru Shida, if she ever returns, big addition. Sky Blue next week, snap of the fingers, fantastic. This is what's so important. Now, there are, within the next couple of months, a lot of women that are free agents. Thekla as well. Yep, the spoilers for Thekla. Great signing. I'm going to say this. If AEW brings back Hikaru Shida, Ty Conti, you bring in Thekla, Mina Shirakawa, yes. You bring in Sky Blue back. AEW don't need to sign Cora Jade, Dakota Kai, Katana Kaden. As much as I actually would like to see them work, AEW doesn't need to sign those women. Because you're focusing on your current talent, you give them more of an opportunity, you let them work. At that point, those women I've just named that are free agents, including Shayna Baszler, they can go elsewhere and still enjoy themselves and still prove that they've been missed out on. Massively important. Fernando, happy Friday to you, sir. Gary, absolutely. I've put that on the community tab. Two UK women's wrestlers, Harley Hudson and Myla Grace. Yep, they are officially signed to TNA. Thank fuck. Because they really need to add more women to that roster. I still want Sky Blue and Cora Jade as a team. I hope I don't see this as a team. Cora Jade, stick to your OnlyFans. I want nothing to do with you now in pro wrestling. Even though I didn't care about her for months. Sky Blue, she's fine without a tag team. She doesn't need a team. She's excellent. If you're going to put her with someone, you've still got Julia Hart. Get them all back in the women's division. Stronger. They shouldn't go for new additions. Spot on. PW Insider are so far behind me. They need to catch up. They need to catch up. We literally talked about it a couple of streams ago. Joe Hendry is going to get his contract bought out by WWE before the end of the year. So when that happens, before then, take the title of him. Yep, Gabe Kidd versus Oku versus Speedball. I will be watching. And I told you that Speedball's not in that Battle Royal because he took himself out for this triple threat match. Hence why Josh Alexander's going to win it. Nah, not at all. Don't need her. There's no need. I will be watching, yes. I honestly am not in the motivation to watch SmackDown. I will be watching Backlash, but I'm not in the mood to watch. I'm not in the mood to watch SmackDown. Speaking of Backlash, before we jump into these reviews, Backlash preview show is tomorrow. The review show is not until Tuesday. I am not reviewing Backlash on Sunday. I'm not reviewing Backlash on Monday. I'm reviewing it on Tuesday because I'm going to allow Raw to respond as well, so we can actually discuss both at the same time. I actually think it's stronger to review those two as a package. And I'm actually thinking I'm going to be doing that going forward, except for the 2-night events. I'm going to be doing that going forward. So any weekend that's got a WWE pay-per-view, not PLE because I'm not calling it that, any weekend where it's a WWE pay-per-view, we will have pay-per-view plus Raw. And that's how it's going to be. All I'm going to say is Javon Evans is a moron. And if you don't believe me, there's another podcaster who's also in the same mindset as me, and he's actually one of the most biased WWE fans you'll ever see. Javon Evans is a fucking moron. And he's a fool. Are we going to do a prediction for Beach Break or just Double or Nothing? Just Double or Nothing. Beach Break is just a TV special, but because we didn't really do a prediction for Unbreakable, so we didn't really do anything for Unbreakable. We just done the pay-per-view, so we'll just do that. But if you want to do something for Beach Break, all I'm going to say is Jon Moxley will win by interference next Wednesday. Mike Santana should win the TNA World title next. I would say Ali, then Santana. I think it would do a lot more justice to have the heel win, so the babyface can challenge and overcome in the best matches possible. Javon Evans. This is what I don't understand about Javon Evans, right? This guy's got unreal potential. He does. Like, I'm not even joking. Javon Evans has an unreal amount of potential. Is he going to live up to it? No idea. Fingers crossed though, because I like to see young talent fulfill their potential. But you insult a company's owner, you mock your own colleagues, because let's be real here, AEW, TNA, WWE, New Japan, CMLL, AAA, you all have one thing in common. You're all of the same profession. You're all colleagues in that same way. And you start to mock how many people you're working in front of. Javon Evans, I just want to say something very, very appropriate here, because this is actually really stupid. You work in front of, what, a couple hundred people as well? To come at a talent over how many people they work in front of? Imagine that was you on the other side, and you're getting those comments at you. Really fucking stupid. Especially this moron, because he's a moron. You're meant to be in a partnership with TNA where they get the same level of abuse for the amount of fans they're getting a crowd. And I've had to sit there and deal with these comments for years. So you're also insulting your company's partners, legal partners. Like, reality kicks in here. Javon Evans, no disrespect, pal. You're a fucking nobody. You're a fucking nobody. And don't worry, I am too. To him. To WWE, they don't know I exist. I'm a nobody to them. But Javon Evans, you're a fucking nobody to wrestling fans. To a wrestling veteran. Ricochet is an asshole. Like, no joke. Everybody knows this. Everybody knows this. Ricochet is an asshole. And he's a Twitter troll. And he needs to wind his neck in sometimes. But the way that Javon Evans has responded doesn't do him any good favours. Now, absolutely, some of the comments were bloody funny. I was pissing myself. I mean, I love a good laugh. Come on. But there's elements of respect and there's elements of restraint that he needs to deal with. And Javon Evans, you actually allowed yourself to get worked. I mean, come on. It's hilarious at this point. Drew McIntyre, Ricochet, Josh Alexander, Chelsea Green, Saraya. Trying to think who else could be used in this example. Actually, we'll stick with just those 5. What do they all have in common? What do all 5 wrestlers I've just named all have in common? Iron Sheik's a different thing. But what I mean is the 5 wrestlers I've just named, what do they all have in common? And it's not hard, and nobody say wrestling, because that's an automatic, you're being removed from the guessing game. Wrestling is not the answer I'm looking for. What do all 5 wrestlers I've just named all have in common? Come on. I want the answer. I've technically just gave you the answer. Abel, thank you. Trolling. All of them troll on an absolute brilliant level. And Javon Evans, you got sucked into it. You got sucked into it, and you really are a bloody imbecile. Because here's the fun thing about you, Javon Evans. That's going to stop you from getting booked well. You might not actually agree, you might not actually agree depending on what you think, but here's a funny thing, and it's very important. See for the way that Javon Evans was acting on Twitter, and everybody knows that Ricochet's a Twitter troll. Even WWE actually knows that he's a Twitter troll. Why do you think WWE talent are actually enjoying this with Ricochet? The only person that's actually had a bitch mode about it is Javon Evans. He's the only one, by the way, who's bitching about this. And he will get punished by it. He won't get Perry Saturned when he has to hold a broom or a mop, as it was back then, moppy. But he is going to get beaten into. And if you think I'm joking, keep watching NXT. In fact, watch the one below it, and then the one below that. Because Javon Evans, he's going to end up on those 2. They'll care about him as a repercussion, but nothing else. People think Javon Evans is going to get fired. I don't. But he will get reprimanded. There's a fine line. Ricochet's a fanny. He is. Ricochet's a fanny. But people fell for it. And they'll continue to fall for it based on the comments in the live chat. People are already in the live chat, and I love all you guys, right? You guys are all dope, you guys are all sound, but you guys are all arguing over a side when the reality of it is what was said is absolutely funny. And the only thing that we should be doing, this is what you guys really need to remember, is just fucking laugh at it. Just laugh. Like, there was someone who did say something similar to this where it really matters most. I'm trying to remember who said it, but someone did say, like, actually, here it is. Here's something just for you guys. Laughter is the best form of medicine. Smiling is the best form of therapy. But laughing at someone because they're not doing anything wrong and they're having a joke is the best form of medicinal therapy. So I just encourage you, see, instead of taking Ricochet's tweet seriously, just laugh. Just laugh. Because quite frankly, if you're falling for it, then you've already failed. When I read his tweets last night, I didn't quote any of them. I didn't have to. I could have done, but I didn't. Instead, I looked at his tweets and I pissed out laughing. I literally sat there last night rewatching Charmed. Alyssa Milano, thank you very much for great TV. Holly Marie Combs, thank you for great TV. Rose McGowan, thank you for great TV. Shannon Doherty, thank you for great TV. One of my favourite shows growing up. I still watch it now and again because it's dope television. I was watching that last night before I watched Collision and Impact. Eventually I crashed, so I rewatched them earlier on today. So I rewatched them earlier. But when I seen Ricochet's tweets, because a friend of mine messaged me about them. He messaged me and he said, have you seen these? And I said, he will get reprimanded for what he's saying. But Ricochet's a Twitter troll. Javon Evans has fallen for it. Sorry, fallen for it's the wrong answer. He fell for it. Whereas we were actually both laughing about it. I was honestly laughing my fucking ass off. Here's the funny thing. You can bring age into it. You can bring context as much as you can into it. But then you've just got my main man who says it right here. Never take them seriously. I mean, to quote Jeremy Clarkson, how hard can it be? The IWC cannot think coherently. If you don't believe me, go and look at a Bubba the Clown tweet. Or go and look at a Dave Crazy Meltzer tweet. Both of them pillar and post for stupidity when they want to be. Look at the replies. The IWC mean fuck all to me. The IWC should mean fuck all in this chat. Just like cage match means fuck all in this chat. Just like match ratings mean fuck all in this chat. Just equals not having your opinion heard means fuck all in this chat. Reality is what belongs in this chat. Your opinions belong in this chat. Bullshit belongs outside. A joke works in here. Took me 30 minutes to cook, people. Actually, hold on, I stand corrected. It took me 5 minutes to cook people because we had other conversations in between. So I've just cooked IWC, I've just cooked them, and I've just made a mockery of people who are taking this shit seriously. Again, how hard can it be? For me, very easy. I mean, it's easier for me to cook than it is to get Zach Gowen's leg off him. Again, Zach Gowen in 2025, I've got no words.
Oh, God.
Jesus Christ, Abu. Sweet Jesus. Keep the horny down. I mean, I understand. Stephanie Vacour, chef's kiss. But still, come on. Keep it in your pants, brother. Lark Bark, hello, how are you doing? You just got off work? Nice. I finished about 2 hours ago. So, I don't drink alcohol, but a cheers to you, sir. See, I make people laugh, I make people comment. I got James laughing, I got Abil laughing, although Abil needs to be... Actually, I've got the perfect gift for Abil. This is what needs to be done to my dude. Let me just get it. And Abil, trust me, I could have James do this to you if I wanted to, because to be fair, Merseyside to where you stay, really easy to get a hold of you. So, Abil, please, sir, please contain yourself, or you're getting the hose. You will be hosed. You little horn dog. I think Benfica will draw with Sporting tomorrow. I don't mind Sporting, I prefer Benfica, but I'm saying it cleanly, saying it calmly. I think Benfica will draw. Now, not essentially keep it PG, because this isn't WWE in 2010. This isn't PG. What we're saying is... maybe wait a while before Abil goes straight for the Vacour. You know what I mean? Although he'll lose on that front anyway. Jesus Christ. I know, but I think he'll draw. Benfica just have the habit, you know, bad form with Sporting Lisbon over the past couple of years. It makes sense. They could potentially get a good result though. The PG era was garbage. Exactly. There was nothing good about it. And hence why Batista quit. We lost a great man. What's up, Sean? How's it going? How are you? But there you go. 35 minutes in. We've not even done this. We've not even started the review. We've got less than an hour to review 2 shows before the Q&A, and we've already got Abil being horny. Damn you. Right. I have still not bought it yet. If you're getting frustrated by it, then I'm sorry, but that's so embarrassing. Like, I'm not kidding. If you're getting frustrated by this, it's embarrassing. Just like if I got frustrated by this and I said it live on air, because we are on air. If I was saying this as well, 100%, you guys would be calling me embarrassing. And I wouldn't be able to argue with you at all. So, Guy, 1 time only, 2 times only, 3 times, 4 times, 5 Pepsi Max drinks. Hold on. Calm it down, brother. If you're getting frustrated by it, then Ricochet's got he's got the money from it. Because time is money, and he's playing you. If you're getting frustrated by this, then Jesus Christ. Oh, that's not happening, Abil, don't worry. Get frustrated by somebody that exists like Hulk Hogan. You should be more frustrated by someone like Hulk Hogan than Ricochet. You should be more frustrated by someone... Yeah, just Hulk Hogan. Five-time Pepsi champion drinker. Right, first of all, that's actually a brilliant comment, but two, that's made me laugh. You're getting this for the laugh purposes.
Oh god.
That's got me funny. Me too. Speaking of Iron Sheik, I was rewatching some TNA earlier, and it felt good to rewatch some of the old Sabu. So he is your nephew, but Sheiky baby, you are missed in this world. You are missed. Okay, let us crack on. We have to get through 2 shows, then Q&A for you guys, and then I'll tell you what's coming up over the weekend. Yeah? Yeah? Let's fucking do this. Let's collide an Impact. So, Collision opens with Toni Storm in a balcony. She cuts a promo about the Owen Hart Cup final, which is also going to be Double or Nothing, May 25th. Discusses her potential 2 opponents. And then, after declaring she wants a new challenge, rightly so, the champion is entitled to a new challenge. She's entitled to new opposition. That's if Jamie Hayter doesn't win the tournament. Because if she wins the tournament, then it's not new opposition. She wins that, then, simply put, it's a different type of challenge for the current Women's World Champion. Decent start. Totally different dynamic to how Dynamite opened on Wednesday. We spoke about it was a good opening segment between Hangman, Will Ospreay, and the Don Callis family. The only thing that let it down was how long it was, and also Don Callis obviously was hijacked by the crowd, didn't allow him to get really into the depths of his promo, and it hurt him a little bit, and reality favours, and that's what catches him off guard. Now, opening contest, this is where the humour is going to kick in, and also a little bit of shoulda, woulda, coulda, do we need it? We'll find out. Our opening contest of Collision is Serpentico versus Ricochet. Easy win for Ricochet. Angelico, is he really... Is he really the right opponent? No. Sorry, I meant Angelico. Sorry. He's just as bad as Serpentico. Sorry. Ricochet versus Angelico. I mean, even with a mask on, he basically is the exact same thing. Crap. It's a decent match, but... Again, this was nothing. Like, if you really want to be honest, this was a nothing opener. There's nothing special about the opening match. It's just decent. Ricochet, when he's wrestling, is fine. It's a good laugh. You get some enjoyment out of a Ricochet match, but there's nothing here. Like, there's genuinely nothing here. And it makes matters more when Ricochet steals the prosthetic leg of Zach Gowen. Zach Gowen hasn't been seen for fucking years. I'm not even joking. Zach Gowen has offered nothing to pro wrestling in... Actually, the last time Zach Gowen actually meant anything, he was in TNA. And that was years ago. Like, retrospect, this had nothing. James, I agree. It was just a filler. We got through it. We could have had something better. I actually think in this context, I would have replaced this match altogether. I would have had Toni Storm versus Anna Jay for the women's title. I still would have had Toni Storm win. But I would have had Anna Jay get a title shot. And I would have had this go 15-20 minutes. And I guarantee you it would be 100 times better. No problem, Abel. We will still be here, brother. I guarantee you a 15-20 minute opener, which includes a promo by Toni Storm. You could have Anna Jay come out and challenge her impromptu to a title match. Toni Storm's like, you know what? New challenge? Okay then, challenge accepted. Title's on the line. You could have had a 20-minute segment, 5-minute promo, and then a 10-15 minute match, and then boom. Boom. Then you go into the Ricochet Angelico match. Because, frankly, you're making most of the time. Now, I'm not saying Ricochet and Angelico don't know how to use time. They do. But when you look at it in a way around it, you've still got the work of Serpentico, who's at ringside. You actually get the fun of you start hot and then you fade in. And not fade in a bad way, but you fade in the next segment and it hits hard. I like the opener, I just don't like that it had nothing for it. But it's still at least something to see. What we're getting in the way of it is reality. And the reality is, what I've just suggested is a better way to open Collision. A much better way. And I don't think anyone can argue. Now, the guy is still going on about this whole thing, even though we've all moved on. Who cares about what culture? Who cares? Who fucking cares? Everyone's biased. You are getting worked up. You are getting worked. You need to calm down. In the wrestling business, they shouldn't be joining sides. They can do what they like. Just like you're picking a side right now. You're clearly picking Javon Evans' side. How do you not see this? I'm not attacking you. I'm just telling you. I'm going to open the curtains, and when I do, I'm hoping that we'd have moved on. Yes? Yes? Good. Don't get yourself worked up by all this nonsense and just actually... See, the funny thing about social media now. I remember when I first got to social media. 2006. I was 9 years old. And back then we had MSN. And we had Bebo. God almighty. Back then, it was literally just having a laugh with friends. Nowadays, social media is people taking everything so seriously and moaning and bitching. And I'm like, go and have fun. If you get annoyed by the smallest of things on a social media platform, then top tip, top advice. Because I've walked away from social media at times. I've went back sporadically. But if you're getting wound up over the simplest of things on social media, then maybe social media is not for you. Have a laugh. Have a joke. Who cares? With pleasure. Bear in mind, I'm 28 years old now, right? So that was a long time ago. 19 years ago, I first got into social media. I had a Twitter account in 2011. It was when Jeff Hardy was TNA World Champion. The Miz was WWE Champion. Ugh. Nakamura was cooking it in New Japan. Okada was about to become Okato. Kurt Angle was feuding with Jeff Jarrett. My Twitter account back then was just taking a laugh out of pro wrestling and enjoying it that way. And I deleted that account. I deleted it because I was like, you know what, actually, I don't really care about Twitter. I stayed off Twitter for 8 years. I've still got Facebook. Don't add me as a friend. I add Facebook because it's a good way to link with family and friends, obviously, and post memes and shit. But I've got back onto Twitter, and Twitter's a fucking cesspit. It's all stupid. So top tip, if you get into this nonsense on social media, then maybe social media is not for you. Look at my Twitter. I use my Twitter to laugh at people. I use it to post my edits, post video clips, football debates and conversations, wrestling debates, wrestling conversations. But I don't use it to have boring debates. If there's one person on Twitter I'd love to have a debate with in a great way, it's Kurt Angle. I'd love to have a debate with Kurt Angle because the guy's great. And a positive debate, so I can then bring him on this channel. By the way, I'm trying. I really am going to try and figure out how I'm going to get Kurt Angle on this channel. Somehow, some way, I will get one of the greatest of all time on here. But notice how that's the reality. Like, James, straight away, I'm 27, I've never used Twitter, Facebook. Fair play to you, mate. Fair play that you haven't used any of them. Because they're shit. They're so shit. They are so shit. What culture are as reliable as death row sentencings? I'm 34, YouTube and Instagram only social media I got, and I suck. I don't understand either of them, but I think it's a blessing in disguise. You know what, Zodiac? You're the perfect person for social media because you admitted you suck at it. Because people take social media so seriously when they get their special blue ticks. They really do. These are all fun. Have hilarity. I know, I'm trying. You guys know Kurt Angle follows me. I'm gonna try hard. And exactly. Back to Collision. The way that this match opened, obviously we discuss it. We're then for Beach Break. We've now got a reality of madness. Next week on Dynamite, we have Zach Gowen versus Ricochet at Beach Break. I'm sorry, but I'm not excited for this. I would rather have Kenny Omega versus Ricochet for the international title. I do not want to see Zach Gowen wrestle in 2025 when he hops along. Sorry, moves along. I was there watching Zach Gowen get thrown downstairs in 2003 celebrating because Brock Lesnar was cool. But this shit is crap. I'm sorry. If you're a fan of this, please save your souls. Ricochet does not validate a horrible career death of wrestling Zach Gowen. This is pointless bullshit. But hey, don't worry. But hey, I don't criticize other companies. But hey, I think this is bullshit. Absolute bullshit. Tony Khan, if this video ever makes it to you, we're 51 minutes 35 seconds in. Rewind it 20 seconds. That entire part. Tony Khan, I'm begging you, change the fucking match. It's bullshit. I would not even tolerate this with WWE either. I would not fucking tolerate it. People might not like this. They might go and watch something else on YouTube. That's fine. I'm not going to tell people to stay. I hope you're enjoying the show, however. That's the most important thing. I know after fainting on Monday, I really should be very careful. You're right, I should be careful. That's why I've got the Mega Fan. I don't care if it's a one-off appearance. I don't care if it's multiple. Zach Gowen in 2025 should be talking about pro wrestling. Not actively wrestling. Ain't funny. It's not funny anymore. Like, this ain't it. You want to see how bad he was in TNA? Watch this. I'm not kidding. Zach Gowen in TNA was absolutely embarrassing. He was worse than Dustin Rhodes. Bear in mind, Zach Gowen... Ooh. 1983. Zach Gowen, you're 42 years old. You're 43 at the end of March. He was pish in TNA. I'll say this though, he's aged well. Like he has honestly aged well, and that's nice to see. There you go, I forgot about that. He done a shoot interview in 2020. Zach Gowen doing interviews and podcasts is fantastic, by the way. He's actually, I'm not kidding, by the way. Zach Gowen is an excellent listener. If you've never listened to it before, if you've never listened to his interview before, go and listen to the interview that he did on Hannibal TV in 2020. It's actually really good. But in no way, shape or form do I want to see Zach Gowen in 2025 wrestling. Because if that happens, then I'm personally going to try and find Brock Lesnar's email address and I'm going to ask him to turn up to Dynamite. And I'd be like, can you just beat this guy up again? Yes, but I also know it's time for him to drop his title. How's the job hunting going? That was a serious question, not an insult. Exactly, nobody wants to see Zach Gowen. I actually need to really move on. Oh, great comments. Steve's asking, I met Jim Cornette and Jim Ross last time in the UK. Both were GOATs. Who's your favourite commentator of all time? My favourite commentator to this day is still Jim Ross. I love Jim Cornette's commentary, but for me, Jim Ross and Bobby Heenan are my favourite commentators. Then it's Mike Tenay and Dom West. We all suffer intrusive thoughts. We all get anxious now and then. Hold on, I need to breathe. ADHD, I got denied a test for that once. My brother's highly autistic. So I know where you're coming from. But when I'm telling you, out of respect, great commentator. When I'm telling you out of respect to drop it and move on, I'm caring about your well-being. I'm caring about your mental well-being. If you're sticking with the topic, and I know it's hard, we've all moved on. I'm not saying this to scrutinise you. When we've moved on, and we have moved on, and I know it is difficult, that's why I'm leveling with you in this way. I absolutely understand that it is difficult for yourself to move on. I really do. But in the limelight when we have moved on, stop, breathe, don't go back to it. I do the same with my little brother, and believe me, he is fucking difficult sometimes. It's not his fault. I'm the same. It really is. And I'm not going to deny anybody in that limelight, whatever people say. I'm never going to do that. But when I've said, and I'm going to say it one last time, when we've moved on, and I've said we're moving on, stop, breathe, and think, what's next? What can I enjoy? If you want to come back to it, we'll do it at the very end. That's how we do it. Who do you want AEW to sign from the recent releases? I think in the best circumstances they shouldn't sign anybody. I don't think they should sign anybody. I think they should focus on their current rosters. Top man. See? Told you. Everybody's welcome here. Everybody has a bullshit take. Everybody has a heated moment. Everybody can be very defensive. Or Abel gets very horny. But notice how no one from this channel ever gets told to go away. Except spammer comments. Spam comments, obviously I'm going to get rid of that individual, right? Because that's ridiculously stupid. But if you come in level-headed and chill, you're absolutely fine. That's how this channel operates. I agree. If I was to ask who will be the next big star in AEW, who do you forecast? Because Anthony Bowens I was thinking of, but I think she's not a bigger star yet, but she is a star. But the next big star, I'm honestly going to say Julia Hart. There's something about Julia Hart that's gripped me since day one, after, like, even when she was that stupid cheerleader gimmick. She's nailed on. Kevin Knight from the male side, I think he's got a big potential of being a big star as well. Good talent. Good talent. To answer the question from earlier on, do I think Takeshita will defend the never openweight title? 100%. I'm expecting it. I think Josh Alexander's going to be an even bigger star now because he's got the platform. He was already doing great in TNA, but I think he's now got the bigger platform to do it. You know what, guys? We're not going to an hour and 45 now. We're just going to keep going until we just review both shows and do your Q&A. So you know what? Fuck it. We're just going to keep going because, quite frankly, we have fun. So let's carry on. Up next, we've literally just spoke about Kyle Fletcher. Kyle Fletcher's in action next. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. You're welcome here anytime. And also, nobody's ever said I look like a young Louis Theroux before. That's a first. I've never heard anyone call me that before. So I'm going to say thanks. Because, again, mad comparisons come out of anywhere. I think that's a very fair take, Abel. I think that's very fair. Hit Fletcher lose the pink only Brett can pull off. Yeah, or Macho Man, God rest his soul. I thought TNA had a decent show. I'm going to raise you. I thought TNA was excellent. Just like I thought Collision was excellent. I'm going to go on a limb. Last night was excellent wrestling television. Got my tea on the go. Looking forward to the show. Top man. You know what's even funnier, guys? We're over an hour in. We're already an hour into this show. And I don't know about you, but I feel fucking brilliantly buzzed and hyped up. Fucking enjoying this. This is the type of show that I enjoy. Great audience. I'm up the energy levels, having it, kicking back, having fucking fun. We've got people debating already in the chat. We've got Ricochet getting cooked. We've got Javon Evans getting cooked. The IWC getting cooked. Social media's getting cooked. And the blood pressure is going, fucking kill me. But hey ho, we're here. We're having fun. This is what, funnily enough, YouTube's meant to be about, but people take it in a different manner. I'm here because I enjoy having fun. Now, 8-man tag. James, track him down. Thanking you, sir. Thanking you. Fuck yeah. This is how it's supposed to be. Now, obviously, we are live, so all I'm asking kindly is we are on 318 subscribers. We have no target, but if you are new to this channel, please subscribe. Please share the stream if you can. And please do like the video. And share this with your friends. If you've got friends that like professional wrestling, if you've got family members that like professional wrestling, and they like a different type of contextual show, send them here. We don't just do 319 says Zodiac. We've passed the Kevin Nash weight job. We don't just do wrestling discussions here. We do gaming streams. We're going to do watch-alongs. There's new content coming. So, to quote an amazing movie, except it probably wouldn't work in 2025 because people bitch about everything. But to quote a fantastic movie, let the good times roll. Quote the film. Name the film, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, we're on 320 subscribers now. $320. Now, who weighed 320? Try to remember. Not the big slow. Can't remember. There were a few people that were in the 320 bracket, but that's just how it is. Anyway, up next we have an 8-man tag featuring the Outrunners, who, I mean, fair play, they want to keep the 80s alive. Not a bad idea. I mean, some countries are still living in the 80s. You've got the madness of, well, what can I say? Bandido. That man's a treasure. And you've got AR Fox up against 4 members of the Don Callis family. Because, let's be real, two of them are part of it now, and I don't think they should be. Rocky Romero and, well, simply Bitch Boy, Trent Beretta should not be in this. Well, they're going to be part of the Don Callis family, but the two official members, Fletcher and Lance Archer, I would have made this match Fletcher, Archer, Takeshita, Alexander. I know on the show, just for context, we have Dark Order versus Takeshita and Josh Alexander. I would have scrapped that tag match and added Takeshita and Alexander to the 8-man tag. Dark Order versus Rocky Romero and Trent Beretta, that's fine. Or Dark Order versus Top Flight to prove they're actually good enough to win a tag team title, which they're not going to do anyway. See how I'm sort of, even though I loved Collision, I'm still actually making the booking better? It's so simple, yet it works a treat. Cheers. Anyway, simply put, the heels win. New tag move by Beretta and Rocky, the Jackal Driver, as it's being called, seals the victory. My only gripe with this match is this match kind of proves one big problem about AEW's tag teams. In terms of good tag teams, the best tag team is nowhere to be found. We don't know where the guns are. Lashley and Benjamin, the current tag team champions, weren't even on this show, which is a damn shame. You've got Kyle Fletcher, who's been booked as a single star when... Is he really... This is not a disrespect to Kyle Fletcher in any way, by the way. He's had good singles and tag matches. But let's be real. When you watch Kyle Fletcher in the ring, do you think of him still as a singles wrestler? Me personally, I think he's a much more excellent tag team wrestler. He just gets it. He does really well as a single, by the way. I'm not knocking him in any shape or form. I am not knocking the man. I'm just trying to be realistic. I'm trying to be understanding to the division. I'm trying to be diplomatic. You've got Brian Cage, who's currently sidelined at the minute. When he comes back, he's going to go straight back into a tag team with Lance Archer. That's okay. That's okay. If AEW are going to sign wrestlers from releases, maybe they sign Gallus. Bring them in. A Scottish tag team, they can do some good stuff. Because let's be real, AEW fumbled a tag team recently. I can say it truthfully. AEW fumbled a tag team that would have been perfect for them. Does anybody know which tag team I'm talking about? They're in the same faction. Not unless he gets kicked out the faction is he facing Josh Alexander. It's not happening. Gates of Agony, they are a good side. They are. The tag team I'm thinking of, the AEW fumbled, I saw at Wembley. They weren't in the tag match, by the way, but they were in the post-match. They were in the post-match angle. Brody King and Buddy Matthews, they're excellent. Hurt Syndicate, not them. They're the current champions. They've not been fumbled. They're fine. They're getting booked strongly, apart from the fact they're stuck with MJF. No offense, Zodiac, but even you agree. I'm thinking of the grizzled young veterans. Yeah, he is injured, sadly. Horrible. Good tag team. Brody King is shining as a single, but Brody King is excellent as a tag team specialist. He really is. Him and Buddy Matthews are an excellent tag team. But I'm thinking of the grizzled young veterans. AEW, truthfully, fumbled them because they didn't know what to do. Like, they didn't know what to do. They really lost out. They got booed the shit out of themselves at Wembley. Attacking FTR. They got booed. Badly booed. And I'm thinking, there you go. Bring them in. Fuck it, let's cook. And they fucked it. WWE fumbled them as well. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Grizzled Young Veterans have been excellent everywhere else. They were excellent on the UK scene. They were excellent in TNA. WWE didn't know what to do. And then they went to AEW. They attacked the tag team champions. By the way, Grizzled Young Veterans are English. Even though they come from Liverpool. They are English. And they got booed out the building at Wembley. And I'm thinking, there you go. FTR's next top tag team opposition. And you bottled it. You bottled it. Here's a fun thing. AEW's best tag team match in recent years that wasn't a steel cage, a ladder match, or anything like that. AEW's best tag match in recent years was FTR versus Jay White and a good man that I like to call Juice Robinson. 60 minutes, 2 out of 3 falls. Imagine that match being Grizzled Young Veterans versus FTR. Oh, wait. There you go. Like I say, they fumbled. I've just said who I think it was most misused. For me, Grizzled Young Veterans. Grizzled Young Veterans and Wardlow. Wardlow's done, by the way. He's finished. Like, he is finished. People are going to say Cody Rhodes, CM Punk. I don't think they were. I think they were used the way they could. The problem is they were paired with people that they did not like. Or one of them just decided, you know what, fuck it. I don't want to be world champion as a heel. Because I want to be loved. You absolutely would have been as world champion, mate. Just saying. To be fair, James is from the Everton side of Liverpool, from Merseyside, so he's a cool scouser. Pac, that's a good shout. To be fair, for a time, even my boy Penta, he should have been an international champion at one point, and they instead had him lose to Orange Bitch Boy. AEW doesn't need Wardlow. No, AEW's got much better big men now. I don't think AEW should go after Braun Strowman, by the way. I think Braun Strowman would really struggle with the intensity. I think it would be a bad move for him. I really think it would be. You know who actually I would let them go and enjoy? I would have actually liked... I want Omos to get freed from his WWE contract because I would love to see Omos in AEW. Darius, how are you, sir? I'm befuddled as the fact that I can't find the best of 5 with Grizzled Young Veterans versus ABC. Ooh, yes. I love ABC. You know what, actually? I'm going to do you a favour. I think it might be on here. Because this website is amazing for watching wrestling matches. No, honestly. Oh man, you need to watch it. You need to watch it. See, I used to agree. And it's on the channel. I can't hide from this. I used to say Omos was absolutely useless, boring, the lot, right? I was really harsh on Omos. And I was like, actually, you know what? They're not using him well as a giant. They could have made so much from him. The man goes to Pro Wrestling Noah. He teams up with Jack Morris. Shout out to Jack Morris, my countryman. He joins Team 2000X, wins the tag titles, and then WWE goes, nah, this guy's getting over with his high angle lash ride powerbomb. I can't remember what he calls it now. I called it I call it something else. I think I called it the Nigerian descent, because it just works. WWE brings him back and almost is in fucking catering. And I'm like, you absolute morons. You fucking morons. Let him go. Almost in AEW actually would be good. I don't know why WWE don't use him. I really don't. I will never understand that. Before we come back to the reviews, I am doing a favour for Darius. So give me 1 second. The annoying thing is he got overexposed to the fact that he went to Japan and he completely neutralised the exposure. And he showed what he can do. The best of 3 series. Here you go. Impact 2024. And it's all on YouTube. You know, actually, I'm going to do you a wee favour. I need to mute myself first. Hold on. Oh, wait, never mind. I'm already on mute on YouTube. Hold on. 1 second. That's match 2. Where's match 1? That was the best TNA tag matches as well in recent years. This tag match series was excellent. Where is it? Darius, this is for you. That's match 1. That's match 2. And then all you need to do is watch No Surrender 2023. And that's it. Sorry, 2024. Watch No Surrender and you'll get that match. And if you want to watch the dog collar match again between... actually, hold on. Ooh, hold on. That's a full package of TNA best matches. Good. But where is... Have we got part 3? That's part 2. Nah, they don't have part 3 on it. That's annoying. But if you watch No Surrender 2024, you'll get the third and final match. The dog collar match from last night from Eric Young and Steve Macklin is already now on YouTube as the full match video. Yeah, literally, you've got altogether you've got about 35, 40 minutes of wrestling time. That's it. But it's still good. What do you think of the Giant WCW at its peak fitness wise? Do you want me to be truthful? Or do you want me to lie? I'm being very, very, very diplomatic here. And fair. Do you want me to be honest or do you want me to lie? Oh, Ali versus Sabin was absolutely incredible. Mustafa Ali was my wrestler of the year in 2024. This might shock people, but honestly, right now, 2025, Santana's edging it for me. I know, Abu. It's a shame. Okay, you asked for truthful. I know. Well, that match was incredible. Truthful. Okay. The Giant in WCW was horrific. Both himself and because of WCW's booking. He was crap. I already said the reason why I don't care about him and when he eventually became known as the Big Show is because of WCW. I said on the last show, if you go and take a listen, I don't care about the matches he had with The Rock, Brock Lesnar, Mick Foley, Taker, and even the Mark Henry matches, even his Kurt Angle match at Armageddon 2002. I don't care about those matches because of what he did in WCW. I'm not joking. You can have the run of your career, but because of what you did in WCW, I don't give an absolute care in the world. I wholeheartedly disagree. You cannot, at his height, his weight, oh no, that gives me the fear. You cannot tell me someone who is 7'4", nearly 500 pounds, is moving like a cruiserweight and doing kip-ups. The man took a perfect plex and done a kip-up. Now, before anyone goes, but Vader. Totally different. Totally different. Me neither. Nothing like that at all. I actually like Paul White as a human being. He's actually a great listen to as well. He's actually, he is. I don't actually hate the man. I just hate the way that he was used. And it really hurt. Because when you look at it, they brought him in to be the kayfabe son of Andre the Giant, as he was called in 1995. He's called the Giant because he's the second coming of Andre. He wins the World Championship in his first match. A two-time WCW champion. And he beats Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair on separate occasions to become champion. One of those men I absolutely despise. But they're two of the greatest champions in pro wrestling. Ever. Say what you say about Hulk Hogan. Say what you say about Ric Flair's people. truthfully, they are dickheads. But they are genuinely two of the greatest champions in wrestling. And the Giant beat them both. No, I'm not defending Hogan. I'm being truthful. I can't say it in any way. Like, I'm not saying this as a joke. For what he did in terms of elevating WCW's ratings as world champion, what he did in the 80s for WWE, for how he drove their business, I hate Hulk Hogan with a burning passion. But I can't sit on here and lie. You know what I mean? Like, I can't. Like, if I do, then I already go against what I stand for. So I have to be. I truly am being honest. Hulk Hogan is one of the greatest world champions for that reason alone. He's one of the worst wrestlers of all time. But the magnitude that he had is scarily impressive. Ric Flair was the working man's world champion that still did a larger-than-life way of being a world champion. And that's the key. And you win both of your two WCW world title runs start against Hogan. Bear in mind, Hulk Hogan is the record longest champion in WCW history as just a WCW world champion. Hulk Hogan had the longest and second longest world title runs. He has a combined title length in WCW of 800, and I'm not kidding, by the way, 839 days. No one comes close. You look through all the WCW, just WCW, look at the length of title reigns, even total combined days, no one comes close to Hogan. Which is honestly insane. Like, that's insane. You look at Ric Flair. Look at the amount of times he held the NWA World title. His last big run as world champion is the same length of time that Hulk Hogan won the world championship in his first run when he beat Ric Flair in a title versus career match. 450 days. But then the Giant started acting like a cruiserweight and he just fell off. He goes to WWE and I'm like, you know what? Guy still has great in him. He has. But then he became a fucking sideshow. I can't celebrate that crap. I can't, I'm sorry. I just can't do it. Oh, I'm not going to dispute that. That's true. Jinder Mahal becoming champion on any front is just embarrassing. But the Giant could have been something on a whole grand scale. He could have been. Instead, he became a 7'4" Billy Kidman. And it doesn't work. He should have been with more match length time. He should have been what Goldberg would have been if Goldberg knew how to wrestle. Or he could have just been a more athletic Andre the Giant. Just destroy people. I mean, his chokeslam would have just ended it anyway, but no, he had to do top rope shit, and I'm like, this doesn't work. It becomes hard to enjoy. Anyway, moving on. Back to where we were. And speaking of enjoyment, let's get away from this 8-man tag. And let's have some fun and talk about some different talents. Let's talk about Anthony Bowens. Because Anthony Bowens is up next. Oh, it was fucking horrible, and I'm glad they put the title back on AJ. AJ had to cleanse that title from the horse shit that Jinder Mahal is. Modern day Maharaja. Fuck off. You couldn't wrestle, mate. You couldn't cut a promo. I've had better sleeps than Jinder Mahal's title matches. And yeah, I'm deadly serious. Even though I'm in constant pain in my back. Anthony Bowens is up next, up against Lee Johnson. Again, not a bad match. Not bad. Although, I am really happy about one thing. And this is something that needs to be credited with. Billy Gunn being a manager now is the best thing that you could really do. The man's in great physical shape, by the way. He can still go. But Billy Gunn being the manager of Anthony Bowens is going to do so much for him. And anybody who doubts that, you are a fool. That haymaker that he does is better than Logan Paul's. So much better. I like watching Anthony Bowens. I'm glad he's away from the Acclaimed. We are saved from that idiotic faction. We are absolutely saved from it. We've got fun, we've got enjoyment, we've got excitement. Billy Gunn, I'm expecting to see him wrestle now and again. But when he's managing, Bowens, you're going to the top, mate. Somehow, some way, you will. Incredible. I loved it. Really good. Worst WWE champion. Nah. They don't need him. The Guns don't need Billy. And Billy was right years ago when he proposed that they turned on him. Because then they would never have got anywhere. It was Billy Gunn that actually proposed the idea of the Guns turning on him. Because he saw it with his own eyes. Because I bloody can. Because I damn well can, and I bloody well be happy about it. The crowd were absolutely in awe next with the Gates of Agony. They come out and they cut a promo on Big Bill and Bitch Boy Keith. Again, why is he still under contract? Someone answer me, why is he still under contract? A fight in snares between all four. Brian Keith didn't get injured. Ugh. But we get some fun, and then we get a quick video package of the amazing duo that is Chris Statlander and the lovely, scarily energetic Willow Nightingale. By the way, if you haven't seen it, I know, James, if only someone had the answers, I'd be saved. If you haven't seen this, by the way, it's on the AEW Instagram account. You should really go and listen to what Willow Nightingale said after the match. If you haven't seen what happened, go and listen to what she says. I really like how she comes across. There's no way that this woman will never not be a world champion in AEW. She really is special. Willow Nightingale is so special. Chris Statlander, I love the look. It's on the thumbnail. Look again. That is some freaky look. This is what I like to see. I like to see people experiment with their look, experiment with their ideals. The only thing that goes against it is what follows. Now, two things. We got the spider graphic, and we got the video package of Sky Blue, who returns next week. What we didn't need was the interference in Marina Shafir. Again, it spoiled it. I want to see Willow Nightingale and Chris Statlander properly bury the hatchet between those two and just move on. Have the odd match together, but this shouldn't have been about interference. If this is now finally going to lead to double or nothing between Willow Nightingale and Marina Shafir, please book it. And the fact that Marina Shafir used a chain, make it a chain match. Let them beat the holy shit out of each other. I'm all in. Let them cook. Let them go. Smooth realism. You ain't no smooth criminal. But how are you? Watching the clips is fine. You're a production whore. Fair enough. Fair enough. I barely watch NXT anyway. Can't remember the last time I watched a full episode. Bad presentation turns you off. Fair enough. That's understandable. I have the same way when it comes to bad creative. I like the little joke of Willow Nightingale using Chris Statlander's full first name, calling her Kristen. That made me chuckle. Especially because this is not a Sunday. So she didn't use the Sunday equivalent. So she just called her Kristen. I thought that was actually really funny. But yeah, we got a chain interference of a chain, and the match concludes this way. Yeah, they have some bangers. They've got some great women's talent that I keep an eye on. Their men's roster at the minute is really bleak. I think this is the weakest that men's roster has ever been. I think that's quite scary. They need to figure that part out though. We have another couple of matches to go. Oh, she's really good. She's really good. I think she's the only pure babyface as a woman in pro wrestling. Like, just pure babyface. I don't think you can say Toni Storm is. Toni Storm is an amazing character, but remember, Timeless wasn't a babyface at first. Willow Nightingale is just always a babyface. She's like Ricky Steamboat. You just can't see her as a heel because it doesn't work. She is that. You know what I mean? Like, she just doesn't work anyway. She's so bloody adorable, but when she hits you, you feel like you're going up against a fucking freight train. She hits you hard. Powerful, amazing, excellent wrestler, lovable in that way that the crowd just loves her. She makes sense. Willow should have won. Maybe. I don't think this one really mattered in the sense of it. I don't mind who won. I just wish it would have just been a match without interference. It didn't need it. I think you still could have done the attack angle after the show. I think that would have been so much better. There's some decent matches. There are some decent ones, yeah. Most babyface aren't convincing. They seem like they're pretending. Bill, that's like, yeah, spot on. She knows who she is, and she doesn't go anyway. She knows that she knows she's a plus size woman, so she knows that She's going to get the odd smirk in the wrong way. She's going to get the odd smart remarks about her size and her weight. But she turns that into an amazing positive sense. And that's what makes her likable. She knows she's not like she is like she's deceptively athletic, but she knows she's not that kind of slimmer built machine. But she knows who she is. That's what makes Willow Nightingale special. She ain't none of that bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, she ain't any of that. Mariah's a good talent, but she's going to be. She is. Like, hear my point. What I'm saying is true. But you're going to get the odd stupid remark. Deonna Purrazzo annoyingly gets the same shitty remarks on social media, which is a flat out lie. She's an excellent heel. But Willow Nightingale is just the adorable babyface. Willow Nightingale is what Bayley wanted to be. I'll say it again. Willow Nightingale is what Willow Nightingale is what Bayley wanted to be. Willow Nightingale, without the hugger gimmick, does that whole shtick better than Bayley ever did. And I'm not lying. And I dare you to try and find the evidence that I'm wrong. Because you have to go back and look. It doesn't feel legit. Which is annoying because it actually makes a lot of sense for Bayley. Like, Bayley is the hardcore fan. And one little boo from a crowd against Alexa Bliss. And she goes, maybe I need to change up. No, you dummy, you didn't need to change. You didn't need to change. Yes. 100%. We've got 3 matches left, so let's power through. My absolute machine of a guy who I've met, incredible man himself, Josh Alexander, up next with Takeshita. Up against the Dark Order. Again, why are they still a team? I've got no idea, but okay. So Alex Reynolds and Evil Uno are in tag team action against the Walking Weapon and the Alpha. Simply put, domination. The Dark Order just got turned into the Dead Order. They got killed in this match. C4 Spike, boom, done. One thing I'll say though, Evil Uno with a Hurricane Rana caught me by surprise. They didn't get their entrance, so we know what was coming. They were jobbed and they got punished. And honestly, you're looking at 2 legit wrestlers. When you look at who's legit that you don't want to like fuck around and mock, Alexander's one of them. Takeshita's the other. There's a few others obviously on the AEW roster that are like this, but straight away, one-on-one or as a tag team, you don't fuck about with Josh Alexander and Takeshita. You just don't. Evil Uno is trash. Yes, he is. I just want Bayley to use the OG hugger theme and inflatables for her WrestleMania intro before coming out to the Death Rebel. Yeah, I know. Death Rebel are so shit. Wendy Chu was the only babyface could hang. She was a mix of Bayley, Bianca, and Orange Cassidy. I'm assuming you mean Eva Marie. She's in the top 3 worst female wrestlers of all time. Eva Marie, Lacey Von Erich, Dana Brooke. The 3 worst female wrestlers of all time. Simple. It was a realistic squash job. Thank you. It was a realistic squash job. It does good for Alexander and Takeshita because they still need the odd job victory. They still need to do this, by the way, for how they're coming across in the Callis family, so this works. Up next is a rematch from last month. It's Dralistico taking on another one of my favourites in Speedball Mike Bailey. I'm going to say this right now. This is what Ricochet versus Angelico should have been. This was the best match of the night. Really, really good. This match was best match on the card for me. I really enjoyed this. And I love the fact that Dralistico was getting more time. I think the reality is it combats his style well with Speedball. Speedball bringing his martial arts to AEW as well. It goes well for him. This is one of Speedball's better TV matches. Well, tough. She's on the list because she's shit. She's generally one of the worst wrestlers I've ever seen. I wish she got blackballed. I wish AEW... Sorry, not AEW. I wish TNA sack her. Like, I'm actually pleading with TNA to sack her. But they won't because they're stupid idiots. I think this match, top to bottom, was excellent. The use of the Destroyer, Canadian Destroyer, was incredible. And of course, we know how he wins it. Of course, that spinning tornado kick. Beautiful. Speedball should take the TNT title from Adam Cole. I agree. I absolutely agree with that. 100%, Maria. And following the match as well, Roosh comes out. We don't get a fight between them, which is actually great. Instead, we get a standoff. I like that. This is going to be really good. And I'm looking forward to this one. I think you're going to see what I've been asking from Roosh for a long time. I think Roosh is going to get a proper lengthy match. 10 to 12 minutes. Bell to bell. I'm all in. I think that'll honestly be wonderful to watch. And we can generally see the specialty of Roosh in a match that he deserves. And Speedball's the right opponent for him. It's the right opponent, the right time frame. It could be a good opener. It could be a good midway show to just wake up the crowd a little bit. Because again, the crowd's going to be having to watch fucking... Well, if I say his name, then I'll have to suffer at some point. But the crowd at some point, again, will have to suffer through a Max Caster Open Challenge. These would be the follow-up. I actually don't know. That's a great question. I really don't know. I've wondered that for a long time myself, because when he wrestles, all he does is get Goldberg-style squashes. But he shouldn't. Roosh is he's an excellent wrestler. He's great on the mic as well. I think he's fundamentally sound. He's good to watch. He's got a good character. He's got a good working style. He's not a typical lucha libre. Like, he's a powerhouse and he works phenomenally well. So, I concur. Why don't we get enough Roosh on AEW television? Let us have it. I know who I would rather have between, say, Roosh and Orange Cassidy, or Roosh and Max Caster, Roosh and Chris Jericho, Roosh and Brian Keefe. I'm choosing Roosh every single time. And then Yeah, I think he's honestly great on the mic. Not in the sense of I think he's great in the way that he delivers an exciting promo. I mean great in the way that he just locks into it. So like, you know that for him the promo's simple. Like, it's all about him just wanting to tear people apart. For me, it just comes across great. You get the Hearns. I think people think a great promo has to be someone that's full of life and full of energy all the time. I just like it when someone just goes straight in for the jugular. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I've always thought Reece is a great promo in that way. And that's what I like about his promos. Same way with his match style. I like his entrance and I like the way he wrestles. I just hate the fact that the man gets little time. I'll never understand why. Because you can't tell me he's a bad worker. There's no way he's a bad worker. Like, look at him. The guy actually has perfect timing. He knows how to wrestle. And fuck me, that drop kick in the turnbuckle. Let me have more of it, please. Yes, I do. I love Io Sky promos. And I'm going to say this. I love Asuka promos. I hate the fact that people think they can't cut a promo. I think people who think they can't cut a promo are blind and deaf. Because they don't see and they don't listen. Yes, I absolutely agree. I think the difference is AEW know what they look for. I'm not saying WWE don't, but essentially AEW does know what they like and what they want, and they present it to that audience in that same way. And they're upping things. For quite a while, AEW really had awkward production. Josh Matthews has come in, and the production recently has been excellent. Again, I've said it, TNA made a mistake letting him go. I don't like that TNA fired him. Their production hasn't been bad. I'm not saying it is. But Josh Matthews is so good at producing. It's strange that they let him go. But I think AEW has benefited from that because he's really focusing on certain talent and he's trying to produce their matches or their segments in the best way. Oh yeah, he does. He definitely does. Hold on 2 seconds. Oh, okay. What's this? By the way, for tomorrow, Jeff Cobb is potentially debuting at Backlash, so keep your eyes peeled. What's this? This is just WWE releases. Oh, we already know this one. Man, yous are so slow. Wrestle Talk are literally trying to report now that Shotzi's been released. We knew about this, you absolute morons. You know who I would actually love to come into AEW just to work with the Mexican wrestlers or the Lucha Libres, or even help produce their matches? I would love for TNA to bring in like Juventud Guerrera, and I would love for them to bring in on a longer basis, and I'd love for them to bring in Hernandez, like Supermax. I would really like that, because then you could see those guys get more enjoyment out of their work. They still do. They still pull it off, but I would just love it. Up next is the main event, and I'm simply going to say, I don't care about Daniel Garcia. I really don't. I don't like the fact that he's dressed like a McDonald's clown. I love the fact that Dax Harwood was the one in the match, not Cash Wheeler. I liked it. I thought it was fun. But I've got no interest in Ronald McDonald Garcia. I've got no interest in Stokely Hathaway. The guy's a fucking fool. This was a letdown. The best part about this entire match was Nigel McGuinness. If Nigel McGuinness is going to get back into wrestling, I hope he beats the living shit out of Daniel Garcia as well. After he helps them beat FTR, beat the shit out of Daniel Garcia. I'm begging you, sir. Lock in the Tower of London. After that, just want to say, very exciting Collision. Some things I've said that I would change. Tony Khan, I regret to say from an hour ago, my blood pressure spiked a little bit, but I'm still not changing my mind. Change the Zach Gowen match and make it Omega for the international title and give those lads 30 minutes. Omega would still win, but let them cook for 30 minutes. Save us your pain. He got a bad neck injury. Bad neck injury. I'm Latino, but I'm going to keep it real with you. I prefer if EO and the rest of the international wrestlers made learn English more of a priority. Just remember, for those talents as well, it is hard to learn English. It is hard. I think the reality is they can maybe mix in, like if they've got broken English, but they add in their own language to their promos. That's fine. Like Mysterio got away with it for years, where he would do English and like Spanish, etc. And I was fine with that because obviously he went and learned it and did more, but it is hard to learn those languages. So in any way they can do it, I'm commemorative to it. But if they do, of course, speak better, it's fun. I hope they do more. I hope they do. That's why I say more. No, I think that's fair. I absolutely think that's a fair comment to say. I know. I don't understand that as well, honestly. I'll never understand. Good wrestler. Really good wrestler. Right. We are nearly 2 hours in. We've got TNA to review. And then we are going to smack up TNA, and like I say, I'm really nervous about this one. Even though it was a good show, well, an excellent show, I'm genuinely nervous about this one because this one also has a big impact on me, because this is where Impact will change going forward. I'm not stopping the shows obviously, but it's going to make reviewing it very difficult soon. So let's obviously discuss. So AEW has been resolved. Thank you everyone for watching the AEW side. Little 30-second break, and then we're going to do TNA. So 30 seconds starting now. And my glass is refilled with my second bottle because we went from Pepsi Max to Pepsi Max Cherry, because there's a lot of flavour on this next one. And we are now 2 hours in. So here we go. So show begins with a Trick Williams promo. Fuck's sake. That's alright, honestly. You can, whatever you can get your involvement in or ask anything you like, totally fine with that. Whatever you can add in as much as you can is completely fine. Or even if you want to talk about something else, no problem. The show does open with a Trick Williams promo. He is advertised for the show after his recent attacks on the champion Joe Hendry. And of course, because as things go around here, you say his name, he doesn't appear in the way that we need to do it. He appears in 8-bit. That video is actually really fucking good. He does appear. Joe is good for the business. Trash of the embarrassment mania. Thank you. Someone else echoes my statement. I honestly hated that whole thing. I actually don't know. I saw it on Facebook and then I was like, you know what? I'm downloading that and I'm adding it to the channel. Not kidding. I just saw it and I was like, thank you. You're mine. Who do you think is going to be Matt's mystery partner? See, for the laugh, just make it James Storm. But I don't know, actually. I haven't seen who's been on the tapings, so I'm not actually sure. Speaking of tapings, shout out to Harley Hudson and Myla Grace, both from the UK. They are now, after appearing at recent TNA tapings, they're now officially signed to TNA main roster knockout contracts. So congratulations, ladies, on that one. The champion, of course, comes out. We've already said his name, so we don't need to say it again. He comes out after Trick Williams' discussion. Trick Williams has got his own security. And he fires through. He hits a standing ovation on one of the security guards. And that just flat out, we just go from this in the circumstance. He is the beer money guy. He's mostly just he's doing TV roles, actually. Last thing I saw, he was doing TV. And he does a bit of OVW appearances now and then. But yeah, that's where James Storm is. But yeah, I hope he does return at some point. Just for a little while. Up next, after this opening brawl, which was okay, we get a very quick... You wish. Oh yeah, I was going to say, I'm forgetting. I made a massive mistake. Hold on. We forgot something. And I'm sorry in advance. Song change. Oh yeah. There's one person in TNA you need to look at, I think you would instantly like, besides Mustafa Ali, Mike Santana, who is literally about to appear next. But first of all, we have to discuss Li Yang Lee versus Rosemary. This is quite a bit of a quick match, but honestly, this was a decent match. Li Yang Lee does win. She seems to be gathering a little bit of momentum, but it's working for her. Obviously, TNA makes signings. One was released. Savannah Evans recently has left TNA. She confirmed this on her social media. Again, TNA, I'm going to say this, TNA fumbled Savannah Evans. We move on. Decent women's match. It was. It's nothing special. There is a spear. Leon Slater is incredible, but... Yes, he is. He's part of a stable called Order 4, and it is so bloody good. Order 4, Mustafa Ali, Tasha Steelz, and the Good Hands, who are also in action on this show. Really, really good. It's so much better than the system. So much better than the system. Mustafa is in action against Trey Miguel on this show, by the way. Really good stuff. TNA Plus app is where I watch it. Monthly subscription bet. It's cheap as fuck. I've got it on my Fire Stick. The main event, by the way, watch the main event. Fucking hell. Maria, you are spot on as always. Javon Evans wishes he was as good as Leon Slater. Correctamundo. He's got the best diving move in wrestling. That Swanton 450 splash is unreal. Find a move by someone current that does a diving move better than him. There isn't anybody. Xia Li wins the match with her kick. That excellent kick she does is absolutely hilarious. That she makes it look so easy, and people that have used a similar kick can't grasp it. I want you to say this again in all caps, because I want the universe to hear this louder. Up next, my current pick for the TNA Wrestler of the Year and my current pick for just Wrestler of the Year, Mike Santana backstage with Trick Williams, confrontational between them. Santana then has a chat with Sami Callihan, who recently was in Barbed Wire Massacre. Again, parts of that match was just really stupid, but because it didn't feel like a proper Barbed Wire Massacre, but he had Barbed Wire Massacre with Matt Warner. And then some random in a green mask. WWE's got green shirt guy, TNA's got green mask guy. And then of course we get First Class who get involved again. Christ, Casey Navarro's the only good thing about that faction. WWE also fumbled Xia Li, yes, as reiterated by the man himself, Smooth Realism. Or I get the same thing. Even though TNA is my preferred organisation. If I criticise WWE, I'm instantly an AEW mark. Even though I'm actually very fair towards all factions, I just think some of the shit WWE does is because they said that they're the industry standard. They get judged on a higher level than I judge everyone else. But I still criticise them, and I still praise where they need to be praised. But if I say one thing, I'm instantly a AEW mark. And I just laugh at people for it. I'm a wrestling fan. Plain and simple. Up next is Torture, the Elegance brand. Dana Trash, or as she's called in TNA, Ash by Elegance, Heather by Elegance, and we have Maggie Lee, who's now going to be called Maggie by Elegance. Again, why? They're ripping this off again. Better history, yes, but I'd say currently, I would say AEW right now is still better than TNA in terms of what they're doing, but TNA are not as bad as what people think. They're just making some stupid decisions. Ironically, AEW are also making some stupid decisions. But when I look at it, I enjoy all elements of it. And that's the reality. That's me being completely honest. TNA have got the better history, even though people like to shit on it. Yeah. In TNA, she's being used, like, as I call her, the katana of pro wrestling. Probably drinking on a bar. Up next should be the members of... Up next should be the members of the system. You know, the faction that are shit. The Good Hands, as they're now called, the Great Hands, because it's even better. But they are members of the better faction in TNA, Order 4. They are in tag team action against the Aztec Warriors. Good match. And I like the promo that we get here from John Schuyler. I like his promo saying that Mustafa Ali has changed. He's apologising for his behaviour. Wait till you see what he does next. Not on this episode, but just wait to see what he does next. That guy's going to cook. But yes, we have a tag team action. Laredo Kid and Octagon Jr. Love these guys. Aztec Warriors, again, is what they were not going to be called, by the way. They were going to be called something else, which people were like, nah, this is shit. So they changed it. They're up against the Great Hands, and it's good, solid tag team action. And it's a quick match, but it's not a bad thing. Like, it's 5 minutes, but it's excitement. And it does the TV time they were allocated really well, and it feeds straight into the next segment. Mustafa Ali comes out, attacks them, and then out comes Mustafa Ali's opponent, Trey Miguel, and we go straight into Miguel versus Mustafa Ali. Which, for a 7-minute match, incredible. Now, this match would have been the best match of the night if it hadn't been for the main event. Just remember that. Shades of Okada, Mustafa Ali hits a floor DDT. And then Mustafa Ali drives Trey Miguel's face into the ring after we get interference from the Great Hands. Again, this is why I criticised AEW earlier on for their interference angle. Their interference was just over the top stupid, right? This wasn't. This was clever. This is smart interference. AEW are getting there. They just haven't got it yet. There's times where they've got it, and there's times where they just really shit it up 2 minutes later. They're 50-50. They're nearly going to get it. Like, they're that close. If I'm AEW, watch how you have interference in this match. And that's it. The thing is you can't always do short matches because on TV, even if it's meant to be in that format, because then you're going to just lose interest in the talent that can really work it. So it's good to have short matches depending on the talent, but you still need to blend them in with good lengthy matches. So Mustafa Ali wrestling Trey Miguel for 7 minutes. That's fine. The main event is 15 minutes. In a 2-hour time slot, you should still be doing a little bit more. You can have the odd slow, like Xia Li went 2 minutes. Mustafa Ali got 7. The tag match got 5. So straight away, that's 14 minutes plus the main event, which is for the International Championship. Dog collar is 15 minutes. Very smart. You know what I mean? You've got to be very clever. What's up, dude? I'm not too bad, thanks. How are you? If you can trade one TNA talent to AEW and one to TNA, who are you picking and why? I trade... Excellent question. I'm trading... Actually, I know exactly who I'm trading. I'm trading Deonna Purrazzo. I'm definitely trading Deonna Purrazzo. And I'm trading Purrazzo for... I would love to say Dana Brooke, but I would rather just sack her. And she doesn't fit AEW anyway. From a veteran standpoint, actually, and it's time to split them up, I would trade Deonna Purrazzo for the other half of Spitfire. So I'm 100% not trading Dani Luna. So there you go. So there's a hint for you. And the reason why is because Deonna Purrazzo, let's be real, I think she just doesn't fit AEW and Ring of Honor, even though she's an amazing wrestler. Her gimmick, it works. TNA need another top singles talent anyway, whereas a veteran can go in and help the younger talent as well. So a little bit of madness. That's what I would do. So yeah, I'm trading Deonna Purrazzo for Jodie Fripp. Actually, you know what? I actually think style for style, that's a disservice. I'm trading Xia Li for Deonna Purrazzo. I think Xia Li with her aggressive strikes make more sense to AEW. In that way, I think Deonna Purrazzo works so much better in TNA. That's what I would do. Deonna Purrazzo for Xia Li. Because then Deonna Purrazzo can send Tessa Blanchard packing. And reclaim her championship. We get an injury report. I like these injury reports. We get a report on the international champion who's in the main event. He has a slight injury, but he's clear to compete. Digital exclusive, which is what obviously TNA do their Twitter recorded promos. Steve Macklin talks about his main event with Eric Young. We get a video feature on Indy Hartwell. I'm glad to see Indy Hartwell signed to TNA. I think Indy Hartwell is going to be an excellent run for it. We've got a manner of speaking that's going to work. She talks about being a wrestling fan. It's really cool. I like the fact she brought up like Toys R Us. Shout out to Toys R Us. They were great back in the day. And I love the fact that she says she's not here to be a knockout. She's here to be the knockout. I love that. I would trade Brian Cage for Eddie Edwards. Why would you want Eddie Edwards to leave TNA? And also, Brian Cage doesn't do anything in the current TNA landscape. There's nothing for him there. That's a strange one. Brian Cage is actually right where he is. It's perfect, and so is Eddie Edwards. They're in the perfect environments. Strange. We got Matt and Jeff Hardy promo, which is really good. I love the fact that they spoke about the support they're getting. The crowds are still firmly behind them, and they're vowing to take their titles back from the Nemeths. Again, Ryan Nemeth being a champion hurts the business. Christ almighty. Ryan Nemeth annoyingly does get heel reactions though. We get a tag. We get advertised for next week. It's on the community tab. Next week on Impact, for the first time since 2009, we will get Nick Nemeth versus Jeff Hardy in a one-on-one match. Please give this more than 10 minutes, TNA. Please give this more than 10 minutes. This is one of the two halves of the brothers. One of them is one of the best babyface of all time. He had an amazing heel turn TNA until they fucking fumbled him. And Nick Nemeth is one of the best wrestlers in the world. This cannot be so typical. Who, Jeff? Because Jeff loves to see things in different ways. Yeah. It's reality. I'm not sure. It might be someone random in Canada. Like, who knows? We might see a return of Petey Williams. But if it's me betting on it, I would love it to be James Storm. It's not going to be Eric Young. We know that. But, I don't know. Maybe we get... I mean, I would actually like it for one night only. Just take him off agent work and let Pete Williams return to action in TNA for one night. Oh, the Hitman gimmick is one of my favorite gimmicks of all time. Leon Slater is not the right option. Because that doesn't... TNA have got a bad habit, by the way. This is actually something I'm going to criticise TNA on. TNA are all about mystery opponents. And then they don't even make it interesting. They just go, well, it's just someone they've already been teaming with. Leon Slater is not a mystery opponent, by the way. That's a predictable, good opponent or tag team partner. Lance Storm? Wouldn't mind that. Not a bad idea. You let me down. I'm only kidding. Yeah. I really hope we get more than 10 minutes. I would, if it's 15 minutes, oh, magic. He achieved all that he wanted to. He wanted to move on. I loved Speedball in TNA. Same way as I love Josh Alexander in TNA, but as much as that losing them, TNA didn't even make an attempt to keep Josh Alexander, which hurt, but they were two that achieved everything and were ready to move on. TNA are making smart not replacements, but smart additions as much as they can. But the way they go about it is how it's going to be, but I would have loved those two to have stayed anyway. Yeah. That's us Scottish for you. We actually also, if you didn't see it, we do get the clips of Matt and Jeff. Matt and... Jesus Christ. Nick Nemeth and Jeff Hardy from their match on Raw when they last wrestled. I have a problem. We get an Under Siege challenge, and then immediately we're reminded of, obviously because Jeff's DUIs and all that and his arrest, he can't enter Canada. So we're not going to get the ladder match for the tag titles. So instead, at Under Siege, which is a TNA special, is Matt and a tag team partner of his choosing versus the Nemeths. Why not just have the Nemeths defend the tag titles against another tag team like, oh, I don't know, the Rascals? But hey, I'm just theorizing, you know? Yeah, you need to have more than just a little bit of predictable. You need to have a little bit of difference. But I'm buzzing for Nemeth versus Hardy. I think that's going to be a really good singles match. Up next, making her singles debut is Victoria Crawford, or as TNA opposite WWE fans, Alicia Fox. She's in action. The Deputy Director of Authority, Victoria Crawford, wins in 2 minutes against Brittany Brooks. I'm going to say this, and people might have an agenda against this, but I actually think she does a better axe kick than Booker T. And by the way, I like Booker T's axe kick. I just think she does it better. But I did like his variation of it. But yes, we get the axe kick. She then takes the mic. Before we even get anything out of her gob, the champion Masha Slamovich comes to the ring. Masha Slamovich is an absolute crazy killer. I love watching her wrestle. We get a brawl straight away between Masha and Crawford. Tessa Blanchard comes out. She's still got her eyes on the champion, even though she tapped out at the Rebellion pay-per-view. And next week we get a tag match. Masha gets a teammate of her choice. But then we get ruined with the absolute crap because she was at TNA tapings, and this really annoys me. Robert Stone declares the tag team partner for Masha Slamovich is Nikita Lyons. Oh dear.
Oh god.
I'm not kidding when I say this. That's a lol TNA moment. Nikita Lyons, who can't wrestle. I swear to God, TNA, sometimes you love me, sometimes you hate me. Fuck off. Pathetic. Does Tessa deserve a rematch? I mean, she tapped out clean, but I suppose. Backstage, we get a segment between Robert Stone, Santino Marella, Santino's daughter, and Tessa Blanchard obviously gets involved here. She says that Ariana Grace, who's obviously the daughter of Santino Marella, turned a family legacy into glitter, whereas Tessa Blanchard said she turned her legacy into diamonds. Kinda, but which part? I've got no idea. I really find it insulting. And I think this is horrible booking. I don't understand this either. Like, he's an NXT guy. He's got no right to do this. It actually feels wrong. And also, he hasn't been involved with TNA in like 10 years. And he was boring. Robbie E was crap. Now and again. Now and again. I don't go there a lot. Then here we go. Matt Cardona is on commentary for the most violent TNA match in a long time. You thought the Falls Count Anywhere match between Mustafa Ali and Santana at Rebellion was violent, and that's probably my TNA match of the year so far. This match is challenging it. Steve Macklin is making his second international title defense since winning it in April at Unbreakable. Second match with Eric Young after getting hung over the ropes last week. This dog collar match, I think, try to think, because I'm going back a long way here, and there's a lot of dog collar matches. The first TNA dog collar match that I remember, Raven was in it, and Raven won World Championship, NWA World Championship as it was at the time. They don't often have dog collar matches. I need to remember the last one after this. I'm going to double check, because for the top of my life, I can't remember. Nah, I disagree. There is nothing about, and again, it's your opinion. If you think that was better, that's fine. There is nothing about this match for me that even comes close to Mustafa Ali's match, or with Santana, or Macklin versus EY. Nothing. And those matches I've just named are better than this too. So much better. When I look at this, this was 15 minutes of brutal wrestling and violence. Yeah, he should have. Then again, they put the title on a good guy in Alex Shelley as well, which is actually smart. But Macklin did deserve a longer run. I do agree. Because you could have had him feud with Josh Alexander as well in the opposite roles. Josh Alexander as the chaser, that would have been cool. The entire mat gets covered in blood here. You get violence all over the place. You get... First of all, that throat first top rope drive was excellent. Power bombs were beautiful. Both members of the Armory. Again, great recruits. Those two really are so special. They both get a caught in the crossfire. We got a pile driver. We got a 2 kick out. Eric Young does the best. Like, just no modification pile driver like the C4 Spike, but just a pile driver. Eric Young does the best. Does the best one since Foley. I've just remembered another great dog collar match from TNA. Masha Slamovich versus Killer Kelly. And that was wonderful. That was pure wonderful. I recommend it. We get the kick out at 2, and then obviously Macklin from the top, Eric Young goes up to the top rope because he wants the elbow drop. Macklin yanks him off, hits the KAI, which says Impaler DDT, gets the win. We get an Olympic slam. We get good old fashioned comebacks. We get splashes. This was solid work from the two of them. But here comes the problem. And this is the reality of what this match means. And I'm going to share it directly from the community tab, because again, this is where my feelings get hurt. I mean, in terms of watching it live, Abul, no, but I have watched it, yes, and I thought it was excellent. This is where TNA starts to hurt my personal feelings, because it's on the community tab and I'm going to show it. Before anyone comes at me over this, just remember what TNA have always been. Good and bad. I will not have anyone tell me this is a good idea. Obviously that's my take on it, but this is from PW Insider, because obviously the match was taped last week for this week's show, because that's what TNA does, to be fair, except when they do live shows. But TNA confirmed that they've implemented a new policy prohibiting excessive bleeding and blading during matches. TNA officials conveyed this to their talent during a meeting earlier today. This was obviously before the match. This decision prioritised the well-being of the performers, whilst also considering the interests of current and prospective sponsors and partners. I call bullshit on that. While accidental bleeding is not acknowledged and understood, intentional heavy bloodletting is now strictly prohibited. A dog collar match taped this week between Stu Macklin and Eric Young will be the final TNA match to feature excessive bleeding, at least for the time being. And then I've said, if it's for the new TV deal, then I understand, but they were still doing this on Spike TV many years ago, and they shouldn't be changing up. This for me is simply, this is a WWE whinge job. I'm sorry, but it is. because Spike TV had no issue with it. Spike TV allowed excessive blood stuff on their show. Destination America did, by the way. They just didn't like the fact that Vince Russo got rehired. Same with Spike TV. This seriously hurts. This was not a prospective partner thing. They've literally said, since you guys are partnering with us, you need to do this. And it, honestly, it sucks. They're still going to have blood, but it feels like they're just going to take it away now. It feels horrible. Yes, Punk versus MJF was the last on pay-per-view for the dog collar. Which was incredible, by the way. But this just screams horrible for me. I hate the fact they've taken it away. And I'll never know why. Yeah, I honestly think it is, James, and it hurts because I don't get why people are so offended by blood. But they still watch movies. Now, I'm not saying wrestling is cinema, but wrestling is still life and blood's part of life. We're going to have a no DQ match that'll have blood in it, but don't worry, you'll just get a little bit of blood. You'll just get a nosebleed. Who fucking cares? They're not hurting anyone. Let them bleed, for fuck's sake. Jesus Christ. Exactly. Even if they're still doing the great job of wrestling, there's no shame in having blood in it. I hate the fact they're taking it away in this manner. This, like, TNA's great in that way. They use blood in a great way, and now you're taking it away. Makes me sick. Dog collar match in a Hell in a Cell. Man, imagine us climbing the cage. I'd be hanging James off the cell. Exactly. John Cena versus GBL. From a WWE perspective, if you want to be honest. Rock versus Austin's second match was blood all over. Now, ladies and gentlemen, both shows were fun. Both shows have things they can change. 2 good nights of pro wrestling. Zach Gowen, get him to fuck. But apart from that, I enjoyed both shows. And now, in Sky Blue, I look forward to seeing you next week. TNA, please change your rule about the less blood. I'm begging you. Because you can't do this. Don't do this. But over to you, ladies and gentlemen. Ugh. How? What? More relaxed on how? Man, people get so whiny about blood, man. I think it's weird. Look at some of TNA's best ever. Oh, hold on, don't worry. If they're going to be relaxed on bleeding, don't have Barbed Wire Massacre anymore. Don't have ladder matches. Don't have table matches. Don't have Full Metal Mayhem. Because that's what they call it. They don't call it TLC. Don't have Ultimate X. Just have singles matches. Yeah, they were. It's a control, and it's pathetic. But watching people on the football field can get wheeled off concussion and body looking like pretzels. Oh yeah, exactly. Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, it's over to you. I'm going to give you your question, your Q&A time with Q&A music. So here's your Q&A music. Night driving is back as we drive off to the sunsets. And we're going to have fun. Oh, right. I thought you were challenging. I was like, thank God. But you're on our side. That's good. That's a rare breed. Ladies and gentlemen, over to you. Your time starts. In fact, you know what? We're going to take it up to 3 hours. Let's see if I can go. Can I get it? You've got 19 minutes. That was wrong. Hold on. 2 hours 41, 10. So if I do 18:40 set, now we'll finish on 3 hours. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's over to you. Have fun with it. And now it's everything. You don't need to talk about TNA or Collision anymore. You can ask whatever you want. Why would you swap Dion on? Can you describe her? She's literally one of the nicest. She's literally one of the nicest pro wrestlers I've ever met. Got privilege of getting her autograph, privilege of getting a photo with her, but she is a technical magician. And I think she makes more sense in TNA because she was the star that carried that division for a long time. And her gimmick is perfect for that company. Whereas in AEW, there's so many technical wrestlers anyway that she can't even force it in. It doesn't make any sense for her. Whereas Xia Li can walk in because there's not a lot of strikers. She can walk in, be great. Deonna Purrazzo is a wonderful technical magician. And also, she can still be close to her husband as well because her husband is Steve Macklin, the international champion of TNA. It makes more sense for me in that way. I know you'll preview Backlash tomorrow, but out of 10, how much are you looking forward to it? Same question, 1 out of 10. That's why I don't care about SmackDown reviews. They don't do enough for me anymore. Yes. 100%. The best worker, the most reliable worker, and the best person to build a division around. Top man. I honestly think WWE are not taking Backlash seriously. Because you've got Pat McAfee and Logan Paul in matches that just make you want to laugh. The best match on the card will be the Fatal 4-Way. John Cena versus Randy Orton again is just screams desperate. That's not going to be good. Honestly, actually, you know what? I'm actually going to bring up the fucking card anyway, because Jesus Christ, snipping tool, of course, but I don't think WWE are taking Backlash seriously. I'm sorry, but they're not. Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria, it just screams embarrassment. I just don't think they know what they're doing, and it's really bloody annoying. How many matches have I actually got for Backlash, by the way? 5 matches. Dominic Mysterio versus Penta. Again, okay. That match will likely be good. But apart from that, what am I supposed to enjoy? The best matches on the card are probably going to be the mid-card championships, the Fatal 4-Way, and the Intercontinental title matches. See if I can, because I can share screen and hopefully bring up the image at the same time. I hope it lets me do a double share. Can I do a double share? Nah. So you've still got 14.5 minutes left, but I'm sorry, but that doesn't excite me as a card. Do you notice she does the throat slash like Voldemort? I wonder if she was a fan. Probably. Oh yeah, he is. Your comment, sorry. People for some reason think Logan Paul is good in the mic just because he can recite his lines without messing up his mean. I don't like Logan Paul in any shape or form. I mean, he's athletic. I'll give him that. Like the guy gets it. He's athletic, but I don't care about him. Top 5 bloody matches of all time. Oh, matches 4 and 5. Before I take this off, matches 4 and 5 are going to be the best of a crap show. The end. But now to really answer Maria's comment, man, you really don't like to beat around the bush, do you, pal? So top 5 bloody matches. Number 1 is Brett versus Austin, Mania 13. Number 2. Eddie and GBL is a great shout. I'll have that at 5. I'm going to include Sabu versus Abyss Barbed Wire Massacre. The best Barbed Wire Massacre. This one might shock you. Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker, Hell in a Cell. The first time they went in Hell in a Cell. No Mercy, 2002. MJF versus Bryan Danielson, Iron Man match. And lastly, you might think I'm trolling here, but I'm not in terms of blood and madness, but it's actually right up there. It's crazy wild for blood and how it goes, but I'm gonna say one other amazing blood match that I've watched, and I can watch it so many times over, and it's just so good. Now, Rock versus Austin 2 is a special one, so that will always be like a special match in that way, but if you want blood in the best way and excitement, Taker versus Shawn Michaels at Hell in a Cell. There's a few others like Mick Foley matches, Terry Funk, Umaga versus Cena. Yeah, to be fair, that was crazy violent and blood, but it's a fair shout. Kurt Angle's got a few. Try to think who else. He does, yeah. Try and think who else is. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna say it. Dustin Rhodes versus Cody Rhodes. Jericho versus Shawn. Yeah, it's a good shout. Yeah, they do. They bleed, yeah. Have you ever played WWF the arcade game? And if you haven't, you should. I have actually. It's really good. What's your favourite mystery opponent ever? This match sucks. I'm not kidding. This match sucks. Actually, I've got a very interesting one for you guys, and I'd like to know if you guys just see where I'm coming from. But in terms of mystery opponents ever, one of my all-time favourite mystery opponent evers. Now, it's because of recency, but because it stems back to somebody I really enjoyed growing up. But no kidding. My favourite ever mystery opponent was during the Sins of Jericho, when he was trying to get to MJF, when he had to re-wrestle Juventud Guerrero. Because Juventud was one of my favourite cruiserweights in WCW. One of my favourites. I would honestly say he was literally up there. Another one, Nakamura for Sami Zayn at his takeover match for his debut, and the same with Ultimo Dragon. Ultimo Dragon is another for in WWE sense, but Jushin Thunder Liger for the first opponent for Samoa Joe on pay-per-view, and also Liger for the man I've said here before that got misused on NXT Black and Gold. Jushin Thunder Liger's one and only match in NXT. They misused who he was up against. I love Great Suzuki, but Jushin Thunder Liger is my favourite masked wrestler of all time. Juventud Guerrero for me was my more favourite from that sense than Rey Mysterio in terms of like Latino side of it. I prefer Juventud to Rey Mysterio, even though I love Rey Mysterio, but Penta's my favourite Mexican masked wrestler. I love Liger. Liger versus Samoa Joe, I watch New York every single week and I can't stop because I like it that much. Do you remember Savio Vega being a surprise for No Way Out? Yes, because Shawn Michaels didn't want to wrestle until WrestleMania because of his back. They should have just made that a six-man tag instead of Savio Vega. Savio Vega in 98, he wasn't clicking. But I do remember it, yes. Favourite venue for a wrestling event? I have three because I can't pick one over the other. So I'm going to say it, truthfully. The Impact Zone, the old Impact Zone. The arena at Greensboro, Nassau Coliseum, is that one? And Madison Square Garden. But I love and obviously outside that, the Tokyo Dome. What's the first live wrestling show you went to? Oh, it was a long time ago. It was an old two. There was an old WWE and old TNA events. That was like 15 years ago. And then I didn't go to another live event until 2015. And that was in Glasgow. And the main event was Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins, WWE title match. Seth Rollins won by DQ. And on the card we had Cena as US champ versus Rusev. Yeah, that was horrific. That was horrific. Fun years. Fun times. The amount of legends I've seen was incredible. They used to. But Madison Square Garden hasn't hosted a WrestleMania since WrestleMania 20. I like the arena that Rev Pro holds, the Copper Box Arena, for their anniversary shows. That's a good event, and I like, even though it's a big venue, it's just the oddness of it. But I think Wembley's actually a great arena for wrestling. Truthfully, The Rock. to be fair, on the same night, well, pay-per-view wise, but on the same night of TV, The Rock and Sting at the exact same time. But Bret Hart came around, like, in terms of discovering Bret Hart, and I was like, when I first discovered Bret Hart matches, I was like, yeah, this is it. Kurt Angle was the same, like, instant for me. But The Rock was my childhood favourite. Sting, still a big favourite of Sting's work. Even though The Rock is still a nightmare, like, with his current shit, I'm still a Rock fan. They stopped MSG due to moving stadiums for more money. Correct. Farouk could cut a promo. Farouk was amazing in 97. Especially 97. Really good stuff. I remember the very first Bret Hart match I ever watched, and I still watch it every single day. And I bet none of you will guess who he was up against. And before you ask, the first Bret Hart match I ever watched was not Bret versus Austin. Goldberg versus DDP is Goldberg's best match, but Stone Cold versus Bret Survivor Series is one of my all-time favourite matches, so I'm still choosing that Survivor Series match. All-time, I can't pick one because I've got a list. But my all-time favourite Japanese wrestlers: Liger, Naito, Bull Nakano, Nakamura, Naito, Ibushi, Okada. Always. And Misawa and Great Muta. They're all my favourite Japanese. But also I like Asuka, Io Sky, Kairi Sane, Tam Nakano, Azumi. Like, they're all my favourite Japanese wrestlers. I can't pick an absolute outstanding favourite because I'm a big fan of them all equally. And even God rest his soul as well. Another great man who died many years ago, who was an absolute legend, who created New Japan. Kobayashi, another great one. But yeah, there's another great wrestler who, God rest his soul, who created New Japan. He's up there as a great for me. It was incredible psychology, and it was great, and it was also, it allowed Bret Hart to get the most enjoyment out of Steve Austin before the injury. He got the best work from him. They did. Bret Hart's best match outside WWE. This is second. For me anyway, Brent Misawa is Bret's second best match outside of WWE. His best match came in the year I was born. That's my favourite WWE tag team of all time. The Hart Foundation. Top 5 favourite beer money matches. I'm going to answer this question. Top 5 favourite beer money matches. Kobayashi, yep, and there he is, Inoki. 100%, what a man. Okay then. Number 1. The ladder match against Motorcycle Machine Guns. Number 2. It's the strap match versus LAX. Number 3, even though I don't like one of the morons in this match, the match against Team 3D in the Philadelphia street fight at Lockdown. Number 4 is the match against the Falls Count Anywhere match, ironically, against... No, 2 to 3 falls, sorry, against the Machine Guns. And then number 5, because it actually just feels fun. Honestly, it's Beer Money versus Ken Anderson and Jeff Hardy at Slammiversary in 2010. Yeah. The match against Terry Funk. 1997, they wrestled for 47 minutes. Incredible. Favorite WWE match ever? Brett versus Stone Cold, WrestleMania 13. Even though I actually think the Survivor Series match is better. But that match for me was just incredible. Favorite WCW match is Sting versus DDP. Twice. March 98 on Nitro. And then on Nitro in 99, which is obviously the episode where I started to hate WCW booking, because Sting won the title in 20 minutes and then he dropped it on the same night back to DDP in a fatal 4-way. So yeah, both of those singles matches end the same way, but they're both my favourite WCW matches. Yeah. 19 minutes 47 seconds. The second time. 99, they went 19 minutes 47 seconds. The one in 98 went about 15 minutes. Sting was champion. And he beat DDP with a counter to the Diamond Cutter. Sting was trapped in the ropes. He wrapped his arms around the turnbuckles. He trapped his arms around the turnbuckle so DDP couldn't hit the Diamond Cutter. And then he pushed them forward, hits them with a Scorpion Death Drop. And then the second time, it's the same version, but Sting's holding on to the ropes this time with his hands. And then he nudges DDP forward, straight down Scorpion Death Drop. And he wins the title for the 8th time. But yeah, those two are my favourite WCW matches. And they're on YouTube. I recommend watching them both. Really good matches. In between constant interference, which is, again, something that WCW really let themselves down on. They did so much interference that really didn't help. But this was fun wrestling. DDP and oh right, yeah, they went 47 minutes, yeah, and it's on YouTube in Daily Motion. Yeah, true definition of frontrunners, massively. This was in between great periods. DDP is the definition of the most improved wrestler of all time. There is no wrestler on this planet that improved more than DDP. There is nobody who became a better learner of the business from not being a wrestler, being a different role first than DDP. There's True Special and then there's Dallas Page. Dallas Page, honestly, is the true definition of student of the game. People say Triple H, student of the game. No, DDP is. He's the student of the game. That man was, this is a true story, he said this himself in an interview. He was literally just going to be an enhancement talent. He's a friend of Eric Bischoff. Eric Bischoff didn't want to use him, by the way, as a wrestler. He wanted him to stay as a manager. But he said, no, I want to be an in-ring competitor. I want to learn. I want to become a wrestler. He worked hard. So he's like, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm not going to favoritize you. I'm going to work hard to prove that I belong here. DDP was an enhancement talent for so long, putting people over on WCW Saturday Night. And he was watching matches. He was watching tapes, as you're supposed to. And then he goes to Bischoff. He's like, I've been working on something and I want to try it on TV. One Diamond Cutter. Here comes all the wins. And then he started to win titles. And he cooks. If you want to look at how a wrestler learns and how a wrestler improves, DDP is in the top 2. Actually, he's in the top 3. DDP, Kurt Angle, Bret Hart. Maybe Kurt Hennig if you want to include Kurt Hennig as a listen. Yeah, actually, you know what? I'm going to include Kurt Hennig in that one. AJ Styles, number 5. He did start late. And he finished on a high. And speaking of finishing on a high, 3 hours, 6 minutes, 50 seconds. I'm going to say thank you to everybody that was in this chat, that was commenting tonight. Good fun. We loved it. I'll be back tomorrow, because we've got the preview show tomorrow and a gaming stream. But in the meantime, I'm going to bounce. Remember, no Backlash review until Tuesday when we review Raw 2. So we're going to review Backlash and Raw. Tomorrow, the prediction stream plus a gaming stream. Sunday is a gaming stream. Monday is a gaming stream. Or maybe we just do a fun, let's just chat wrestling for 90 minutes instead. We'll do that on Sunday. Monday we'll do a gaming stream. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, I bid you good night, and I'll see you later. Yes, it was. Perfect. Good night, guys.